This brand new month brings you 3 episodes of Cover By. Let's get started with the first one now. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for today's episode of Cover By. I'm Ryan, Magic Lasso, and I'm so happy that you've stopped by to check out the 2 covers, the A and the B, that we're going to compare today. I have Cookie from Just a Little Podcast and Comics for Thomas waiting in the wings to sound off on this week's featured book, which is Red Hood and the Outlaws, Volume 2, Issue number 23. So we go back to about 2018, I believe, for this issue. I'll get it kicked off today. Now, I was definitely familiar with who the Red Hood character was, since the character's been around for a while. I actually think the invention and creation of the character is quite unique in itself. I like how they took the past but modernized it too with a different character. And of course, Red Hood is being featured this season, season 3 of the Titans TV show. So it's cool to see a live incarnation of that, and I've been enjoying following that storyline. However, even though it's a Batman storyline, this season of Titans seems to be heavily influenced by Batman storylines. And I get it, it's good material, so you want to work with the best material you have, but sometimes it feels a little too much Batman-esque than a Titan show. But I'm digressing. When it comes to my personal collection, I think I only have one Red Hood comic book, and it's Red Hood and Arsenal, issue number 2. And I got that as a prize win from Downright Nerdy Podcast. So shout out to them. So let's take a look at the 2 covers, starting with the A cover. That's a good cover, I think. I mean, that looks like something you would see when you're browsing through comic book shops. It's kind of a no-brainer. You know, the lightning in the background, I really hadn't thought about this until kind of looking at this cover. But the lightning in the background really signifies to me that it's a Batman-oriented title. I mean, I guess lightning in the background is just kind of a Batman theme because it looks so cool. And Rage is My Revenge. I think that with wording on the cover, the image definitely goes with the wording that they provided. So now let's shift over and take a look at the B cover. So looking at that cover, instantly what comes to mind is actually, it was a Doom Patrol index cover that I think John Byrne did back in the 1980s, which featured the Teen Titans in a graveyard and the Doom Patrol spirits kind of looking over them. For some reason, that's the first thing that I flashed to when I saw this cover. With all the penguins around, to me I make the assumption that Penguin is the main antagonist, the main villain in this comic book. I would be surprised if he isn't. And that is kind of cool how you could just take an animal, and that animal is so well associated with a character that if you see a penguin, you just think, you know, if you see a penguin in a DC comic book, you just think it's Penguin the villain's going to be there. Looking at the name on the tombstone, I'm not exactly sure who that is. It says Willis Todd. And I know that Todd is the last name, but with my knowledge of pop culture and the way that my mind is kind of programmed, I actually thought about the old TV show Diff'rent Strokes, because there was a character Willis, and that character Willis was played by an actor named Todd Bridges. I bet you remember that show, don't you? What you talking about, Willis? But no text on this cover, but to me, it's still a striking image. I like both of these covers, actually. Let's check in with the boys and get their thoughts on it. Up first will be Comics for Thomas.
Hey everybody, we are taking a look at Red Hood and the Outlaws, Volume 2, Issue 23. This is what I assume is the A cover. Not a bad cover here. I like the rain that's coming down. Really like the ice cubes that are on the bad guys' shirts. And it's cool that the Red Hood is kind of jumping into the action, which is pretty neat. I don't really know too much about Red Hood. Seems like a very cool character. And not a bad cover. But it looks like I expect that to be an A cover. You can tell it's not like a variant or anything like that, but not too bad at all. So, taking a look at the variants, this is an E cover, and it could just pass like as an A cover. But I love all the I didn't notice all the penguins at first because they make them kind of look like tombstones, which is kind of neat as well. And I like that there is just like a little bit of red from his hood, so it's very like black, white, and grayish going on, and then him just right in the middle there in the gravestone. So again, not too bad.
Hey guys, Cookie here from Just a Little Podcast. So we're back again for Cover By. This issue is going to actually be Red Hood and the Outlaws, Volume 2, Issue 23. Now, Cover A, it's really, really cool. You have Red Hood jumping up in the sky with a shovel in his hands, ready to pretty much bring on his revenge over the henchmen that are below him. I really, really enjoy this cover. I love the details of it. I think it's fascinating. I love the color. I love everything about it. I think it's a really cool cover. The storyline is something very interesting. I didn't read too much into it, but I have read a few issues of this, and I thought nevertheless it was actually an enjoyable series from the moment that I actually did read it. However, we got Cover B. Now, Cover B is basically Red Hood kind of digging in the grave of Willis Todd, which is his father, who became Wingman after he presumed that he was going to be dead, but instead he wasn't dead, and he took on the alias of Wingman. So you have basically Jason Todd kind of digging into the grave while the grave is surrounded by penguins. Kind of interesting concept. The rain's falling down. I think it's a really, really cool cover as well. Let's find out what I picked, though.
Thanks for clearing that up for me, Cookie. Now I know exactly whose name that is on the tombstone and how that relates to Red Hood. Cool, I appreciate that. So, which cover would you have picked? Think about that as a second. It's time for us to give you our picks. And as I said earlier, I really like both of these covers. But when it comes down to it, if you're going to make me pick one, I'm going to go with the B cover. And the reason that I'm doing that is I just think, when you see that image of someone that's digging up a grave, there's got to be some type of motivation behind them wanting to do that. And it really piques my curiosity more. Not that the A cover isn't good, but to me, it's kind of a good, it's a big action scene. There's going to be a big action scene in the issue, I've kind of seen that cover before. Not that it's not done well, as I've said many times now, but we've kind of seen that cover before. B is a little bit more fresh to me in the take. And I like the perspective, again, that was used on the cover of B. And even without the text, you're just left to let your mind decide exactly why this is happening. So B is going to be my pick. Now, I'm not sure if Thomas and Cookie are going to agree with me or not, but we'll check in now to get their picks, A or B.
So I'm going to go with cover B, the variant. Again, it's just a nicer cover. I do like parts of the A cover. I think it's probably hard for variants to lose out, and I think that's probably a trend here, and probably will be a trend moving forward, because there's just always something about those variants if they're done well. So, and this one is.
So I'm going to go for Cover B. I think Cover B really does kill it on this one. I like the gloominess of it, like the darkness of it. I love the aspect of the rain falling down, and Jason Todd is literally digging into his father's grave, trying to see if his father's there or not, and trying to see if his father's wingman or not wingman. The concept of the penguins around, I think, is also a really cool concept as well. How the penguins are kind of just watching him dig in the grave. Overall, I'm going with Cover B. I think Cover B is going to win it.
All right, so there it is. B all the way. Buy A cover, you're out of here. So B is the pick. It's a unanimous decision today for Cover By. What did you think? Is B the cover you would have picked? Do you think that it was a difficult decision between the A and the B covers? Let's dialogue about that and more. Your comments are always encouraged, appreciated, and welcomed in the comment section below. I've left the links for Just a Little Podcast and Comics for Thomas YouTube site. Both of them recently released videos on their channels too. So if you haven't subbed them up, head over to the links in the description and make sure to do that and watch their latest videos and catch up on their past videos as well. So guess what? You're getting another video next week on my channel. Usually, like we do with Cover By is an every other week series. But next week on Friday, I'm going to kick off a series of videos that I'm doing in celebration of Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary. And I kind of want to spotlight Wonder Woman comic books specifically. And a big part of the Wonder Woman comic books was the Huntress backup feature. That was about a good 4-year chunk of Wonder Woman's publication. And we're going to look at the complete Huntress Wonder Woman backups in a video, the first of a series for Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary that drops on my YouTube channel next Friday morning. You don't want to miss that. I'm really excited to share that with you too. I also do want to mention too, if you're not familiar with the comic book Squatchy and Foo, which features several appearances from different YouTube comic book creators, including myself, issue number 1 is available. And you can go on Squatchy Comics' Instagram page to learn about the availability and the cost and to order yours. So just wanted to give a plug out to Squatchy too. I'll be unboxing one of those in a feature comic book editions video here on this channel. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I hope you'll take this opportunity to do so. I always appreciate the support that you show me. You know, just earlier this week, I celebrated my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. And if you didn't catch the video that I dropped on Wednesday, it actually tied in very nicely with a big comic book goal that I achieved. So check that video out too. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's certainly appreciated. And we're going to begin year 3 of my YouTube content and grow and make this channel bigger and better. And who makes it bigger or better? You do. Thank you again for watching today's edition of Cover By. Have a great rest of your day.